Hello, good morning, and welcome back to Refactoring Bitcoin. In this video, I want to show an example how the new CMake function discover tests can be wrapped into a higher level function with a similar API as the gtest discover tests function. I'm going to integrate this into the libsecp project. In the libsecp project, we already introduced the feature of test discovery, and we use the same name as the new built-in function of CMake, so we need to wrap that and give it a prefix. But the API that we want to have, as I said, we want to have it similar as the one from Google Test. So we copy that code here, and I want to put it into the place where it will be used. Okay. And we don't need all of this. We only support some of the arguments. Because what I want to do is I want to separate in this code, in this example here, you see that some of those, so if you imagine that this would be a testing framework and this would be provided by a testing framework and the client wants to use it, we want to separate all the stuff that is specific to the testing framework. So what would be specific to the test framework, for example, is the exact arguments that is used to trigger the output of the tests. Also, the regular expression that is necessary to match the line of an output is, of course, specific to the test. On the other hand, the labels that the clients will want to set is specific to the client. So we want to allow the clients to set the labels. Okay. And for example, for the test name, the which of the capture group in this regular expression is, of course, specific to the test framework, but all the rest of the information, for example, this prefix here, is should be configurable by the client. So let's go through the arguments here that Google Test Framework provides and see which of those we will need. Of course, the target needs to be given. That's clear. Of course, before we forget, we also want to change the prefix. So the command obviously is not prefix with gtest. So, and then we look at the command here. Do we need extra args? Do we need arguments that are added to each individual test command line? This would probably be this here, right? This is separate from the arguments that is necessary to select which test to use. So this is an extra argument. We copy that and we can put it here in the client will be able to add the extra arg like this. We don't need to set the working directory, so we can remove that. But as we said before, we want to be able to set a prefix for the test. And the prefix will be this, including the dot. Okay, so this is the prefix. We don't need a suffix. We don't need a filter. We don't need any of this, but we want to allow the client to set properties. Okay, and the properties will be exactly this, just a label. And we don't need any of the rest. So this is how the client code should look like. Okay, and everything else we want to move into the implementation. Good. So we see small diff of the client. So we want to move that into the implementation. And of course, we don't have to support those arguments. The only arguments that we want to support, let's go back, are extra args, test prefix, and properties. Extra args and properties will take multiple values. So we have extra args and properties, and one value argument is just the test prefix. Okay, like this. Okay, then we want to invoke the discover tests command, but the API is slightly different than this one here. So we go to the documentation of the discover test command, copy the API, go back to the source code. So we copy it, put it here. So the command will just be the name of the target. So, and we don't need to expand the arguments. The target does not contain any semicolons. It also does not take any extra arguments. This is just the target. We don't need to support separate configurations, so we can also remove that. Then the discovery args is just hard-coded to this information. Okay, and the discovery match as well. However, what is different in the new implementation, previously, what the logic that we had was that the string, of course, is parsed with CMake, and therefore all certain characters need to be escaped with a backspace and with a backslash, and then the expression is written to a file, which is then again interpreted by CMake. So we had this double escape here. But since we pass it to a built-in command now, and the built-in command is smart enough to re-escape the characters as needed, we can remove this double escapes here. So we only need this as the discovery match. We don't have discovery properties. We can remove those. Now the test name is basically what the user provided as prefix, followed by the match of this subgroup here. So the prefix is test name is arg prefix, followed by the first match. And the test arg replacement again is what's the, no, it's this hard-coded string here, but with only one level of escapes, followed by whatever the user provides as extra args. Okay. Arg extra args. And the test properties is just what the user provides in the properties argument. It just be forwarded directly. Okay, and all of the rest can be deleted. You see there was a lot of code. Get rid of all this. And we can simplify a little bit more. Okay, we can remove the comment here. Of course, we want to have the prefix. Okay, the name of the command needs to match. And we can simplify this code here because this is only used in one place. Okay, this is empty anyway. And this is also used. It fits in one line. But we have to put a semicolon between here, and then we can remove that code. So that looks very simple now. Let's have another quick review. Does it look correct? So we forward the target. We have a hard-coded discovery args. We have a hard-coded match. The test name will be the user given prefix followed by the first match group. The test arguments will be the necessary argument to select the test, followed by extra args provided by the user. And the test properties will be just whatever is forwarded by the user. That looks simple. So now let's try. We open a terminal, go into the build directory, create it first. So go into the build directory, run CMake. That was successful. Now we look into the generated um, ctest test file. Okay, this one looks boring and this is just the top level one. But inside the source directory, here we have a ctest test file. And we look inside and see that now you see actually what the discover tests CMake command does. It just generates a corresponding command for ctest. But that looks wrong here. It's just target. Okay. Um, what's wrong here? Okay. This of course this is wrong. Here we need to forward the name of the executable, the variable of the executable, and rerun again. Again, okay, now it looks better. Now it replaced the target with the absolute path of the output. Okay, that looks good. You see here the labels have been set properly. Now let's try to execute. Let's try to build. Okay, it's built successfully, and now we want to run ctest, and looks great, right? So it discovered the tests dynamically. 200 tests. Let's wait until it's finished. Then you can also see the label summary. So we have one exhaustive test, we have 100 no verify tests, and we have 100 normal tests. Okay, so this seems to work. This is much simpler, right? This implementation is much simpler now. Unfortunately, we cannot use it yet. So before I will make a pull request, I will make sure that this code is only executed conditionally if the functionality is available. So if the version of CMake is high enough, and otherwise we fall back to another implementation. But there's one more last thing that I want to show you, and that is the feature of cross-compiling. You know what? I do that in a separate video. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.